Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Jason Root with Root Health, and today we're going to go through my own uh, training program. I've gotten a lot of questions. Everybody asking, "Hey, Jason, what the heck do you do for your training?" So we're going to go through that. So let's see. So in general, this is a 6 to 8 week program, and our goals for this program are shoulder therapy. So during my last program, I started feeling a little bit of pain in my shoulder. And so we really wanted to peg what that pain was, why it was happening, and what we're going to do about it. So once we figured that out, we put a little bit of a program together, and we'll just give you a very general idea of what that is. We want general mobility. We want to build strength back after that shoulder after getting that shoulder pain. And we want to maintain a strong base in our cardiovascular, athletic, and balance. So balance kind of goes with athleticism and strength, kind of in between the two. So that's kind of maintained with both of those. So weekly areas to address. So we're going to have a little mini workout with each of these areas. So one is the shoulder therapy. Then we're going to do a gross strength workout. We're going to do that daily. We're going to do structural strength 3 times a week. We're going to do cardiovascular 3 times a week. We're going to do athleticism 3 times a week. We're going to do general conditioning 3 times a week. And we're going to do plyometrics. It's actually twice a week. So gross strength. What is that? Well, that's our push, that's our pull, that's our squat, our hinge, and our lunge. Now, push and pull, and we do on the same day. So that's going to be, but we also have to do a vertical and a horizontal push and pull for each of those. So it ends up being around 5 days a week that we're doing gross strength. And we might also, loaded carries are in gross strength as well. So the length of that workout, note that with gross strength, this is the only area that we're really looking to move forward in the program throughout the 6 to 8 weeks that I'm doing right now. So this is the only one that's highly, highly detailed. So look at the length of the workout. It's going to be maybe 20 to 30 minutes every day. Yeah, that's about it because of all the other things that we're doing that underlie that gross strength. And we want to mix this with mobility or plyometrics. Plyometrics we mix with pushes and pulls, and then our mobility we mix with squat, hinge, lunge, or our loaded carries. Our rep scheme is going to go like this. We start off with just 2 sets of 8. Then we're going to go down to 3 sets of 8. Then we're going to go transition week 3. We get 8, 7, 6. This is of all of our main exercises. In our gross strength, we only do one exercise. That's it. We pick one exercise for each one of those categories of movement that we talked about: push, pull, hinge, loaded carry, squat, all that. And so we're going to do that single exercise for these rep schemes. So on week 1, it's 2 sets of 8. Week 3, 3 sets of 8. Week 4, 8, 7, 6. Week 5, 4 sets of 6. Week 6, 7, 6, 5, 4. So we see a little bit of a pyramid there. Then the next week we're doing 4 sets of 4. And on that last week, we're doing 5 sets of 4. Our tempo when we do these is 1, 2, 5, which means that we're going to do a fast concentric, 1 second. And then we're going to hold it at the top for 2 seconds, an isometric to stabilize. And then we're going to do a 5-second plus, nice and slow, eccentric lowering. Our load, the last rep should be 2 reps short. So we're kind of subjectively gauging this. It should be 2 reps short of what we call technical failure. Technical failure is where we fail to keep any one of those other variables, including tempo and, of course, including perfect form. All right. And then we have our shoulder therapy. Our shoulder therapy consists of, number 1, hanging. And we hang for at least a minute twice. So we do 2 sets and, we hang for a minute. And then we go into our range of motion and isolated strength exercises for each of the shoulder muscles that we're trying to isolate. And that's kind of a thing that's specific towards me, but we can pass that on when if any of you need shoulder therapy or shoulder prehab, prehab or post rehab, then we put together a program for you. Cardiovascular. This is the type of activity is a repetitive motion activity. So the ones that I choose right now are either to run. I have a treadmill, so we have a treadmill run. We do the assault bike, which is that bike with the arms that you can use, and we can walk. So that would be our very long cardiovascular day. What really presents as a difference between cardiovascular and general conditioning is whether we are doing it with respect to heart rate. If we're doing it with respect to heart rate, then we consider it cardiovascular because that's a variable that we're looking at. And if we do it as respect to just getting some, kind of general activity that uses repetitive motion, then we consider it general conditioning. So the time that we allot to this 3 times a week is one day we do 60 minutes, and that'll be pretty much our entire workout for that day is a 60-minute long walk or very slow run on a treadmill. Sometimes I'll put a whole bunch of clothes on and a heater right by and, do the sort of heat thing along with that. So, or flat outside. Then we have an interval day, which is a very short day. And that's on an assault bike usually, or we do the treadmill run, which we call it the 5x5 workout. And that's one where, you can connect with that workout on our YouTube channel or through Trainer Eyes, which is our remote platform. And then we have our medium day, which is usually a street run for about 20 minutes or so. Athleticism. That only takes about 5 to 10 minutes to do. We're just kind of trying to keep the body athletic and moving and better and able to react both in lower body and upper body. We mix athleticism bouts with structural strength or mobility. The types of exercises that we use for this is we use the agility ladder. We do skill boxing on the bag, or we might do some form running. Plyometrics. So plyometrics time, it's very little time because it's mixed in with our push and pull workouts. So those are 2 push and pull workouts. So we do 2 plyometric workouts. Our types of exercises that we might do is overhead jumps, and we'll usually do those on one leg. So those are really easy. We do, hurdles, both on one leg as well. So we'll jump over hurdles on one leg, and then we'll do box jumps. If you want to see more about those, then again, through our YouTube channel or through the Trainer Eyes app if you're being coached. Just be creative with those. We can do all sorts of stuff for plyometrics. We just want to keep it short, powerful, explosive, and and frequency of a couple times a week is usually good enough for maintenance. Our rep scheme is only three repetitions per leg. We don't want to wear out the muscle. We're just trying to get that, again, explosiveness coming out of that hip, ankle, and knee complex. Now we're going to structural strength. Structural strength, again, this only takes about 5 minutes or so. This is also called counter movement strength. So we have gross strength, which is to be able to move against a load, and counter movement strength is to be able to resist external forces. So we only spend about 5 minutes or so on this sort of a workout, 5 to 10. It's kind of usually mixed in with the athleticism or the general conditioning or other strength work even. The types of exercises that we'll use are counter flexion, which is kind of like an extension, like a Superman or a skydiver, something like that. Or, that's if we're working on thoracic counterflexion. If we're working on hip counterflexion, then we'll do something like a bridge held, a hip extension held, something like that. Counter extension is something more like a leg raise with a low leg lowering. So the counterpart is resisting lowering the legs, like if you're hanging or doing a leg raise on the ground. A hollow movement where you're supine on the ground, resisting the gravity pulling you into a flat position. A plank is another great one. Then we have counter lateral flexion, which is usually where we're doing like a loaded carry, but just loaded on one side. Or we're doing a counter rotation, which was just kind of like a wood chopper or something like that. General conditioning. This is intervals performed usually, and will usually perform with mobility or structural strength. So it's just kind of a general conditioning. We're keeping the heart rate kind of going, but we're not really tracking it or anything like that. And to get that general motion going, we're using. I like to tread water. That's a good one. It also adds in that cold factor. We add in the heat factor with our cardiovascular, and we add in the cold factor with treading water. We have trampoline. Trampoline's great for us for a variety of health reasons, but especially for that, for our fascial networks in our body. We can jump rope. That's another good one. And bag work, if we're doing it with some, just kind of a general, not for skill, but for getting that heart rate up and going. All right. And that is Jason's workout for this 6 weeks. So I know that there's a lot of elements in there, and there's a lot of stuff going on. It actually ends up being it doesn't take that much time or that much discipline. It does take a little bit to put it together, but it's really fun to have that many things going on at one time. To me, like I said, we really do a sort of combined approach where we're really doing everything at once. We're doing a lot of qualities at once, and then we focus on one quality kind of seriously. And in this one, it's our strength. So thanks for listening today, and we will talk to you next time.